Have you ever had any experience with psilocybin? Now that I've done it, I like to ask everyone.
Yeah, literally.
No, I'm
It's my new personality trait.
Like, do you have any?
100%.
Did you bring some?
When you come to my town,
You're going to facilitate for us, honey.
I know. I was like,
we'll be in the car with you.
I make playlists for people. That's my thing when they're on.
Yes, I have. And, for me, I think, especially recently when I've done it, I feel the contrast in how serious I can be, how heavy I can take things on as my own. And so when that is lifted, when I've taken psilocybin and I feel the joy, I feel the brightness and the just like infiniteness of everything, I see myself. So I know that human Lindsey is often taking on a lot of things and like feeling a little bit heavy, feeling very serious. It's almost like a protective mechanism at times, because to be so bright, to be so light is sometimes scary in this world. It's actually really, really hard, at times. And so I felt that contrast. And sometimes it makes me sad because I'm like, oh, I want to be here all the time, which I'm like so interested in microdosing. I was talking to my brother about it the other day. But it's beautiful. We've done ayahuasca. We did it once and I had a really... 4 times. Well, yeah, we did 4 nights in a row. 4 nights in a row.
I kind of feel like that's how mushrooms are meant to be done. I love that, like peeling back of the layers. Yes. And I'd love to hear about your ayahuasca.
Yeah, so we went to Costa Rica to a place called Rhythmia. It kind of felt like, the Ritz of ayahuasca experiences, and we were very, very lucky to be invited there. And I say the Ritz because it was just very comfortable, right? Like they really take care of you. They are facilitating in a way that is so beautiful. The shamans are incredible. The accommodations are nice. And like they provide support the day of, so in the morning we'll have workshops and discussions on what to expect. And then day after integrations, massages, colonic, just very supportive. And so we were not like in the middle of Peru, doing ayahuasca or in a mansion in Beverly Hills. But I felt really lucky. And, I think, ayahuasca, Mother Ayahuasca will give you what you need and the experience will be what you need. And for us, for me, it was really gentle and it kind of felt like I was on mushrooms. It was a little more intense, but it had that feel, I definitely had that feeling. Oneness. Yes, that oneness. Oh, it was so beautiful. And I just saw, the scenes of my life. It was like this life review of sorts thus far, especially relationships. We were talking in our conversation with you on our podcast about just how much we learn and grow and see ourselves and know ourselves in relationship. And that is what I saw, and I saw scenes more clearly, obviously, in retrospect. For example, like when my mom had cancer when I was in high school, and it was such a blur when I was a kid, it's like, I don't even know. I'm just trying to like be the big sister and make sure everything's good. But I saw how she was so strong, so positive, like beyond, but I saw how lonely she was like in that scene. And I got to have a conversation with her after I did ayahuasca, just kind of about that time, because as a 16-year-old or, how old I was, I didn't really experience it that way, obviously.
Of course.
But it was actually really a beautiful way to like reconnect with my mom about that time in her life that just happened seemingly so quickly, and we just kind of moved on with life. She's thankfully healthy now, but it's like that changes your life, It changed our lives, it changed her life. So it was actually a really beautiful way to kind of like revisit life moments and have conversations about those.
Yeah, now from this place of renewed emotional developed emotional intelligence, you're able to go back and deepen connection with the people that you love.
Yes.
It's so nice with the unattachment with the mushrooms. I feel like you've had that too. It's like with the self-centeredness, it's like you're unattached to like what that means for me. So it's like you're observing, you're like, oh, I can be self-centered. And you're like, because before if you're like, you're self-centered, you're like, oh, like the ego is like me, you know, like, oh my God, that cannot be me. And that's what's so beautiful about it. And one time with my husband, he did it and literally cried for probably 6 hours.
Love that.
Bald, just like,
love it.
But it was unattached. He wasn't like, oh my God. It was just like coming. And it's like even the unattached to the feeling where he's not like wondering, he's not, what does this mean? Blah, blah, blah. It was just able to like have the release. And I think it's so beautiful for that.
And I love that you said, oh, I want to know how to be in that place all the time. Like I would love to just live in that place. And, you know, microdosing, of course, is one way to access that. But I think what I learned on mushrooms is that you can access this at any time, at any place. It's just, it takes a little bit more intention and presentness when you don't have the plant medicine in your system. So something I've been asking myself is, how much joy can each moment bring? Like I just try to continue to ask that throughout the day to deepen each moment. Because really, psychedelics, they just put you so deep into every second, every thought, every moment.
Yes.
To where you can feel others.
That's beautiful.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Morning Microdose by Almost 30.
We hope you enjoyed waking up.
As always, we encourage you to take what resonates and leave the rest. If you enjoyed this trip, tune into the full episode on the Almost 30 podcast. All episode information can be found in the show notes.
Make sure to subscribe, and if this becomes a part of your morning routine, be sure to share it with a friend. We have new inspiring doses Monday through Friday. Follow us on Instagram at Morning Microdose and follow Almost 30 at Almost 30 Podcast.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the vortex.